Hi, this is PLOYD, and you're tuned in to 88.5. Left on the dial, right on the music.
This is 88 Sessions at Album 88.
Thank you so much to Album 88 for having us. Love you guys.
This is Album 88.
How's it going?
good.
We are here on 88 Sessions. We are talking with PLOYD. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm really happy to be here. Been listening to the station for like ever, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
How long have you, are you from Atlanta?
Yeah.
Wow. Where'd you go to high school? I'm from here.
I went to high school at Sequoia,
You went to Sequoia? Nice.
Cherokee County.
Mm-hmm.
Represent.
Cherokee?
So, yeah, I started playing shows in clubs in 2008, I believe it was.
What was that beginning like? What was the motivation to come to Atlanta to get more active in performing, and what was just like discovering DJing like initially for you?
Well, DJing for me initially started much earlier, like 2003. I would say I really got into it. And it was just a way to pass time with my friends, really.
Did you just have equipment on you guys?
Yeah, we
or-
had some turntables and a bunch of
Really?
records, and we would stay at my buddy's haunted farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere and just rinse tunes all night long. Just tag sessions, He does 3, I do 3, or other friend does 3.
Did you all
know.
have like different records you were bringing together?
Yeah.
Or,
Everybody.
different taste?
Yeah, pretty much like whenever like DJs get together, like they have their own crates, Like we might have had like some doubles, but for the most part, like if my buddy bought a record, like I wouldn't buy that record unless I
That makes
really liked it. But yeah, I moved down, started doing that, and then moved down here. And honestly, it wasn't really for the music or anything. It was just kind of, just to get into the city, have a little more fun with the nightlife, not have to drive
All the
40
way
minutes,
from
buzzed,
Cherokee.
back to Alpharetta or wherever, But the nightlife, the scene back then was it was really exciting, because drum and bass has been around for a long time. That's what I initially got into. But then in 2008, that's like really when dubstep started popping on the scene. EDM is kind of it's a music, born out of technology. You know what I mean? So it makes sense that all the kids that are into tech stuff, they,
It's more of a reflection of like the culture that they
Sure. So when all these people who are like grew up around the internet and like or at least once the internet started really catching a hold and everybody was using it and forums are going up, like all at one point in time, it was a really good community vibe in the drum and bass scene because I was into this niche music. I could go anywhere in the world and find a drum and bass head and it'd be like family. You know what I mean?
just an instant like, oh, you've dedicated time to understand this as well.
Right.
I know what kind of person you are. This will be an easier person to communicate
Right.
with.
Yeah. It's almost like, it's like memes, it's like carrying information, it's like if you're into drum and bass, I can like almost expect you to be a little more open-minded as a person. You're obviously like not just eating whatever's fed to you. You're searching out like other weird styles of music,
If you've at least got into this part of the culture, you've definitely had to like do some work to like find other niches and other things.
Probably.
And probably have like a similar like
Right.
footing and path on the internet.
Right. It's a safe bet to, you're probably not just listening to like whatever pop garbage is thrown your way.
It's not just like whatever you can find on the
Right,
radio. You're not the kind of person that says, "Oh, I listen to all kinds of music. I listen to this and that, and I listen to this." This is a very specific thing that took time to understand.
Yeah, I listen to all kinds of music. I listen to 50 Cent and Kanye and more 50 Cent. And yeah, like
I listen to everything. It's just mostly the current artist that I was
Right,
to
exactly.
listen to right
Yeah,
now.
so anywhere you find somebody who's into, old school dubstep or like, drum and bass. Back then more than now because it is like kind of mainstream now. It properly blew up. So, back then, like if you found somebody that was into those kind of music, like you found somebody who's at least like thinking a little bit outside the box,
Was that kind of the approach to like your sets and things like that, to have like performances that were outside of the box or like curveballs instead of like what was normally considered?
For sure. Well, I do try to I try to make my sets a little bit like a roller coaster ride. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to go on a roller coaster that's all loop-de-loops. I love loop-de-loops. I like corkscrews. I like dipsies. You know, all that stuff. But if it's just loop-de-loops, you're just gonna puke. You know, it's just so I don't want to like listen to a set or play a set that's just heavy track, heavy track, heavy track, track, heavy, 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 heavy. You know, you've got to mix it up. So when I play, I usually try to go on a little bit of a journey. You know, start off a little slower. Actually, I kind of switch it up. Sometimes it's really just random, but you can guarantee wherever I start, I'm gonna end up somewhere very different. You know. Lately I like to start slow and then kind of like get a little deeper and then kind of inch up a little bit heavier, and then we'll jump BPM and get into like some faster stuff, and then just, you know, all styles, you know.
I need the dragon hugs. The dragon hugs. The dragon hugs.
Release the lava.
Release the lava. The dragon hugs.
Release the lava.
Release the lava. The dragon hugs.
Release the lava.
Release the lava. The dragon hugs.
Release the lava.
I will have to release the lava.
Blank, blank.
The dragon hugs. I need the dragon hawks.
Back on the block.
heights and the angle of descent and the point of entry. Now I've backtracked to see if we can establish what part of space it came from. And that's the answer. The moon.
Online, it talks about how you have a very dedicated fan base, but it's all based off of your live performance because there's not that much material
Right.
about you online to be like,
Yeah.
oh, Floyd, go check out that album or go listen to this set and everything. It's very limited material. So what has it been like building up that audience for 10 years with just based off of like your work?
It's been fun. I mean, honestly, I prefer to just kind of have it be just. I don't really enjoy putting out a lot of material, just because I kind of like the in the moment, club nights. I like performing. I like doing that. I feel like it's a little. It's less fun if you could just sit there and. I don't know. I don't really have a really good answer for it.
There's not really much of a reason for it. It's
Yeah.
just like what has been.
Yeah. I don't really. It's not like a big thrill for me to like
Post and then
put
be
out
like,
stuff.
Hey, it's here.
Right. I like the in the moment thing. I like I want people to come out and see me at a club. Like I want people to come out to a festival and come to my set at the festival.
Right. Do you like performing? What are performing at festivals like, and what is the expansion of like performances been like?
Performing at festivals is a lot of fun.
Really?
A lot of fun, yeah. And clubs are fun too, but usually the sound is a little better at festivals.
It's
Play-
not contained
Play,
because it's like
yeah.
There's
You're just letting it go. Yeah.
I had a friend and he was DJing some dubstep and we were out in the backyard and we were inside for a second, but he was like, it's not gonna work inside, and like transitioned to outside and he was like, now you can really feel it, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is different. Inside you really were more limited.
Yeah, dubstep is one of those musics too that like you need a good sound system. The last mixtape I put out which I guess was like maybe a year or so ago, was called No Sub, No Dub, and it's because if you don't have a sub, like you're missing so much of the important low end frequencies. So, dubstep especially, and all bass music really, but it's just it hits you in the chest. You feel it. If you don't have that sub, then you're missing a lot. Yeah,
A lot of the music doesn't even translate if you're missing the sub. You're not even like
totally doesn't.
if you're not having the sub at the end of the day, it's just gonna overlap with a lot of the other music because you're not hearing like.
It
the
sounds
different
weak
choices.
almost, like especially deep dub stuff and some of the older stuff, because it's pretty minimal music and a lot of like that. The bass fluctuation is half of the interest of the song. Is just the way it just kind of like hits you and just kind of rolls against your body, And when there's nothing like hearing some good old school deep dubstep on a real good sound system. Like it's a full body experience.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
It was wonderful speaking with you, and we're really looking forward to having you perform tonight.
Cool, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, Floyd.
All right. Thank you guys. Much love.
The Dragon Hearts.
Release the lava. Release the lava.
The Dragon Hearts.
Release the lava.
The Dragon Hearts.
Release the lava.
I will have to release the lava.